right, welcome in everybody. Welcome to my stream. How y'all doing? You're through another week and you're here. That's amazing. Glad to see ya. I'm DC. You can find me all over the internet under DC Lasair. Go to my website, dclasair.com. Find all the thingies that I do. They're all there. Website powered by Doros. Yay, they're a link in bio site. You want to check them out, use my affiliate link. And if you like the free stuff and you want to sign up for Doros Pro, use my discount code DCLasair to get 30% off for 3 months. And I do get a little bit of that subscription shared with me. All right. Also, part of Team Cypher, we're doing St. Jude for the remainder of the month. If you can donate, !mark St. Jude in chat. We'll bring up my link. Thank you to everyone who has donated so far. And if you can add to that, go for it. Also, let's see. If you're going to Gen Con, I'll be at Gen Con. I'm going to have a panel there. Yeah. It'll be great. Be the best hour of the con. You want to know all about producing TTRPG actual plays? Come see my panel. It's excellent. And, you know, even if you don't want to know about that stuff, come by and just say hi and sit with me for an hour. Like I said, best hour of the con. So don't miss it. And I'm just double checking that there's still tickets. There are still tickets. Okay. And Gen Con, yeah! And around about an hour ago, I dropped this note on Blue Sky that my actions, conditions, weapon mastery, and tools reference pages are now available in Markdown. And I also have a Google Drive folder where all my free TTRPG resources will live from now on. But yeah, I was excited to do those in Markdown, so they're there. Do the things. Go take a look, because that's cool stuff too. I mean, you just get all the coolness from me. You get an excellent panel. You get free TTRPG resources. What a deal, right? All right, who said hi in chat so far? Chaotic Wholesome, thank you for the lurk. Brian, hi. JD Lady, hello. Thank you for the lurk. Hope you're all doing well. And let me pull up my notes here, because there's a lot to talk about today. Oh boy. So, it's another Tech Friday. Yay! And Elgato decided to release 4 Stream Deck things. Here's an article about all the things. They mentioned these at Computex and then did releases, and thanks to One Urban Bohemian for the link. That's there. And let's take a look at them via their website. Antiquated, hello, welcome on in, good to see ya. So if I do this, and then I hit this, we should have a demo window, yay! So this is Elgato.com. First up, in beta. I haven't downloaded the beta because, well, it's a beta, I'd rather just wait. But this virtual Stream Deck, words, is a thing you can do. As you can see on the side here, you can choose not to include buttons, so you can make different shapes out here. And basically, you have virtual buttons on your Windows or Mac or whichever. So you can get early access if you want to. I'm going to wait till the full version comes out. As you can see, you can make all these little panels. And I was having a hard time going, how is this useful? Because one, you need a Stream Deck, right? So you could get the cheapest Stream Deck and get this functionality, but you'd still need a Stream Deck. I'm like, but I want physical buttons. Why are you taking away my physical buttons? However, you can make as many buttons as you want on your screen. You can do an 8x8 grid, and then you can do another 8x8 grid and another 8x8 grid. So you can have these stacks of 64 virtual buttons, all different things. Now, I was watching Finite Singularity stream the other day, and he actually had a good idea. A good use case is that he was going to put important buttons in a row of 4, and he'd have 2 rows of 4. And then he would put those buttons up in his prompter view so he can keep looking at you while he does, while he's hitting some of the more important tasks he does often. And yes, and you can also key the deck to a mouse button, which is awesome too. But for me, the whole point of a Stream Deck is the physical buttons, that I don't have to click my mouse, because that's the important bit for me, is having an interface where I'm not clicking on the screen. I'm not touching something that will mess up something else somewhere because I clicked the wrong space. I just have a button that handles it. Yeah, but you have to look away from the screen. Yeah. And so, ways to unlock. All you need is a Stream Deck, and you can have this functionality. And if you think of a good use case for it, let me know, because I really only know of the one that Finite mentioned. And sure, I could also get an old iPad and put them all on an iPad, and we've talked about that before. But I also there's the app, right? There's the app where you don't even need a physical Stream Deck. You can just get the app for Android or iOS at a one-time purchase and have virtual buttons on those devices as well. So I'm like, okay, that's cool, that's interesting, and I'm kind of like, where are you ultimately going with this? Like, we can design our own little docks where we need them, but I still want my physical buttons and my knobs. You're going to take away my knobs? No. Depending on if it appears above any window without affecting your resolution, and you have a single monitor to play games, having a mini deck pop up immediately in game could be fun for activating things. Yeah. Those little touchscreen displays are like 1 inch wide and loaded up with arrays you need while having room for info. Yeah. Yeah, and like Brian was saying, putting it on a button, on a mouse button, where you just click it and the interface pops up, and you can just have it, like you can just have your Spotify interface pop up wherever you're pointing on the screen. Activating macros while you're gaming? Yeah. That too. Key shortcuts in MMOs? That would make key shortcuts in MMOs easier as well. If I just hit a button and then had all this one display come up. So I think that's where it's going to be most useful, is in accessing stuff like, a button for an MMO and can't recall something, just hit it, and you have this whole other display come up of buttons you can press, or having, like Finite did, having smaller selections of important buttons up in your prompter, so you're still looking at the camera while you click them. Probably the best ideas for these so far. Wish they would have knobs for virtual decks. Yeah. Learning DaVinci, having a DaVinci shortcut bar appear on screen. Ooh, yes, that would be good. You have ideas now. Yay! I do too. Thanks. Y'all, I just to give credit where credit's due, I take a lot of ideas from Brian because Brian's smart. So trying to remember the right combos in Blender. Ooh, yeah. All right, so that's the virtual Stream Deck bit. It's clever, but I had issues coming up with stuff. Now, we've talked about it, and it's like, oh yeah, no, that'd be pretty good. That'd be good. Oh yeah, I did see this, and yeah, nice. The other thing, Stream Deck scissor keys. Now there's a video that they have that goes through it saying you don't need to replace your Stream Deck Mark II. This is just a different style of button. Right? It's I don't know if this has a display. Shows the different button, the different scissory things. But it's so clicky, right? They made me want, yeah, I was thinking that too. I'm like, oh, scissors, and you notice here it's mounted on a bracket because this has a mounting hole, and then I'm like, scissors, mounting, giggling, can't stop. Yes. Keys are less of a game changer than the hole, right? Like the mounting hole is amazing because now you can take a Stream Deck and just put it on. See this mic arm here? I could put my Stream Deck on here and have it movable around. Right? And just by adding a mounting hole. That's probably the best innovation they have on the Stream Deck scissors. But yeah, so if you want a different key press feel, they're scissor keys now. But yeah, the mounting hole is a complete game changer. You'd be surprised how often holes change the game and make things more fun. So their other thing is Stream Deck modules, which I really like this. And these are, right? These are these little keypads, not branded or anything. You can program them how you would a Stream Deck. And they're modular. You can plug them into other things. These are, like it says here, DIY control panels. And so you can just place them in things. And I was thinking, oh, wouldn't it be neat? I got one of these, and I made my own little video switcher. Like I can take a regular Stream Deck and make a video switcher, but with this I could give myself like a little LCD screen of the switcher, and maybe have some extra controls on the side. And they're available in different key sizes, 15 keys, 32 keys. Where are they? Or small ones, 6 keys. Yeah. Oh, am I covering that? Yeah, I'm covering that. Just a second here. Ooh. Hide me. There we go. So 6 keys, 32 keys, 15 keys. Those I like the idea of, but I'm going to have to get a 3D printer, right? Like, that's amazing. And plus, with all the Stream Deck, no, I should say all, I know of like 2 or 3, the Stream Deck competitors coming out that are modular, that you connect, audio interfaces to and other things. You can do the same thing, but with the power of the Stream Deck, because the buttons are so programmable and it's very, very easy to use. The design nerd in me just likes how off-center it has to be. Yeah, okay. You gotta, yeah. But yeah, and here's one of the key parts. No royalties. You can put this in whatever you want, and you don't owe Elgato any royalties for anything you come up with. This to me is big. I suspect this is going to be a Kickstarter game changer for tech devices. Yeah, because you can order these in batches, right? Like quantity 0 to 4. They're expecting you to buy a lot of these, right? Buy in bulk. Yeah, notice it's connected to whatever this might be. I love this because it looks like it's in a car dashboard. Now I kind of want to put one in a car. But I probably shouldn't take a saw and mess with the electrics in the car. Now here's a mighty video switcher, as you can see, because you can put different face plates over the keys like that. So here's 2 of them side by side in one interface. They got a monitor here. They have these controls for the cameras, to move the cameras. All these dials to do whatever they want these dials to do. Yeah, like it says, ready to drop hardware. Just connect it. I believe it's USB-C. And all the power of the Stream Deck. Just, it works with the app already. If you recall the April Fool's joke Stream Desk, yes, Finite said it was a sly preview of these devices. You know what? That's pretty cool. I did like the Stream Deck desk, where it's just a desk of Stream Decks, and I kind of wanted one. But yeah, check out that link to see a picture of their April Fool's joke. Yeah, and so you have SDK documentation, HID documentation coming soon. But yeah, so they give you the coding tools. You can't do it. Good job. Good job. They have CAD files, so you can mock whatever up you're making in CAD. And you can special request as well. And here's some more pictures of various decks. I'm like, this is cool. And this really set off my brain a lot. Just being able to put these in different things. Like, I would so make a little Spotify controller for my car. And just plug it in. I doubt I could, mount it in the car, but I do have a USB interface, so I could attach the USB wire to it and to the car. And if I had the coding right, I could say, okay, when I call up Spotify, these are my Spotify buttons, and yeah, I would like that. All right, what else do we have here? What was the other one down here? The network dock. Yes, this chunky boy right here. So this lets you put a Stream Deck pretty much anywhere you want on your network. All you need is, you connect the Stream Deck to the dock, and then as long as you have an Ethernet cable to plug into it somewhere, you can place your Stream Deck wherever you want. Like if I had an Ethernet cable in my bathroom, I would so put a Stream Deck in my bathroom. I don't know what it would do, but I could have one in my bathroom. Now we're into home automation control. Stream Deck on your bedside table. Why not? Exactly. Could be on the end table. Having those modules built in the top or side of my keyboard, I'd replace my numpad, right? Yeah, another great idea. But yeah, this is really handy. And if you don't have power over Ethernet, you can still use a USB power to make it go on. Control the lights in the bedroom, music, etc., or the temp of the water in the bathroom. Yeah. Oh, come on now. No PC, no clutter in sight with a device and big Ethernet cable trailing away, right? So this is designed to also fit nicely underneath the Stream Deck. Let me go back here. Because Stream Decks, I think the XL will do this. Yeah. But, oh, no, I can't lift it up high enough. But you can just sort of take the backplane off and put it on. As if you don't have a charging cable in the bedroom for your phone, right? So wherever you can put an Ethernet cable, you can put a Stream Deck. And this also could be useful for broadcasts and other things like that. If you want to see a look at one of the pictures they show of that, right here, as they just have this monitor, they have their cameras hooked up, they have their display, OBS display here, and then they're controlling everything with the Stream Deck down here. And yeah, so you can mount it, hide the PC power, and power it with power over Ethernet or USB. Network dock open, yeah, new ways. Now set it free. So yeah, all you have to do is punch in your IP settings right in your Stream Deck, and there you go. And I think they really have, with these announcements, they're also eating into that modular space as well. Of, hey, here's our Stream Deck like device, but maybe you don't want all these things, or you want these other things plugging into it. Well, now you can use the power of a Stream Deck and just do the things. These are huge announcements for Elgato. Yep. Have a contact charger. Wait, I lost something. Hold on. Contact charger for your watch, but the phone I still play to write. Sink it into a nightstand if you had power tools. Yeah. They will barely have to come up with cases for these. I bet folks' brains are already working. Yeah, I'm sure there'll be a bunch of 3D printable projects out for these. I can see these getting put into smart homes where light switches would normally be. Yeah, that's that'd be another good use. Now the question is, can you set up a stream deck over Ethernet to control someone else's system remotely? Ooh, that'd be awesome. I'm sure there's a way to hackathon that into making it happen. But yeah, so Elgato had a huge week this week. Because coming out, firing on all cylinders. Like, here's our amazing device. Now here's all these other things we're letting you do with it. I'm like, wow. Yeah, there's a lot. Again, the scissor keys, a different feel to the device. But the big thing is the mounting hole. It just screw it wherever you need it. As long as it has shares the normal standard mount thing. Amazing. And they essentially given the system way more flexibility than it's ever had. And let's see. That is pretty cool. All right. Moving along. And if you want to continue talking about them, go right ahead. Rode also had an announcement this week about these new earphones. Professional on-ear earphones, the NTH50. And I'm like, okay. Okay, headphones, Rode. They'll probably sound good because it's Rode, right? They've been around for a while. We can kind of trust they usually know what they're doing with audio at this point. But there's some things in here that are really pretty impressive. And I had to watch their video on it. Let's see if I have that accessible. I don't remember. Oh yes, this video here that Rode made on YouTube covering all the things that they do. So check that out after this stream here. And there's a lot in these. Ultra low distortion. They're also made so that let me switch view here real quick. So that they go over the ear, but they kind of have space, so they're a lot cooler. Like I have some great headphones over there. There's some noise canceling headphones, and they're fantastic. They sound fantastic. They go over the ears, but after a while, it gets sweaty. It's hot out, right? And so I can't wear them too long. These say, well, we kind of took care of that problem. Or, purport to take care of the problem. I'm sure once people get them in their hands, we'll know for sure. But great sounding audio. There is some noise cancellation or noise isolation, as they say, and they're kind of focusing on DJs and broadcasters, things like that, and they're mentioning how comfortable they are. Built to last. You can plug them in. You can plug the cable into the left or the right side. Of these, which is fantastic. And they look really good. Let's see here. Let's get a picture. Here's their. Yeah, here's the product page. And for only $100, these are a great value for headphones. Noise canceling. The awesome Rode sound. You can plug this wire here in whichever side you want. These pads look neat and just kind of cover the ear slightly. And they, in the video I posted, they kind of show at one point how that airflow would work. Passive noise isolation, minus 21 dBA. So yeah, and they do talk about the headband in the video, like they do here. Adjustable contoured headband ensures a comfortable fit for any head shape. Phonanal reset, sure. That alleviates pressure on the top of the head. Soft foam memory cushions. Ergonomic ear cap structure. There's a lot to like here. They got a whole user guide if you need to see that. But yeah, so if you're looking for some nice wired headphones, these might be a good option. Plus the noise canceling for $99. That's a good deal. Usually you have to pay a lot more for that quality, just that option, and the quality you're getting out of it. So yay! All right, let's catch up with chat real quick. Going back to the Stream Deck stuff, there is a new Be Quiet keyboard that has movable numpad and it has programmable buttons. Ooh, okay. Or if they got the buttons from Elgato, let's take a look. Accept all cookies. Oh, I see. Huh. Those are pretty cool. I do like you can slide the numpad where you need it. But yeah, those keys look a lot like keys that you'd put on in a Stream Deck. And they could very well be one of the uses for, the Stream Deck module thing we were talking about, because they look a lot like them. That's pretty awesome. I also like quiet keyboards, so I don't want big clicky clacky sounds. All right, next up we have Google had their Google I/O this week. and they have that's a roundup of all the stuff. A lot of AI things. AI mode chatbot coming to search for all US users. AI assistant, notebook, LM mobile app. No, thank you. Other AI updates. Nope, we don't need to talk about any of those. But they're there if you want to have a look. They are making a new AR device called, or are they calling it this one? Android XR. Yeah. So these are basically like sunglasses with a couple cameras on the side. And they seem to be better than their previous attempts at such a thing. Chrome's password manager is getting an update. It can automatically change passwords on accounts that have been compromised in data breaches. So if a website, app, or company is infiltrated, user data is leaked, and Google detects the breach, Password Manager will let you generate a new password and update a compatible account with a single click. And that's right from the article I posted from Engadget. But it does only work with websites that are participating in the program to do that. So I like that idea. That was kind of cool. And then they also, well, there was some drama behind Google's last attempt at their AR. Yes, there was. They're also doing these weird 3D video conferencing booths called Google Beam. It's basically for enterprise customers, big companies. But yeah, you have. It was originally called Project Starline. So if you heard about that a few years ago, and makes calls appear fully 3D from any perspective, and they're big, they're expensive, they use AI, so if you want to read more about them, if you want to read more about that, this is another article on Engadget for that for Google Beam specifically. I don't know. I think I'd just get kind of weirded out by it, really. But it'll have speech translation and all sorts of other features. Same day I was wondering about Star Trek view screens. I see you, Google, right? Yes, Brian has a Blue Sky post about how it showed Captain Picard, the picture of Picard looking at a giant view screen of person's face up close and personal, and wondering what the view on the other side of that looks like. And, yeah, amazing. So yeah, there is all the Google I/O stuff headed your way soon, whether you want it to or not. Yay. All right, I'm going to save the Obsidian stuff for a little bit. Here is a kind of an off-kilter article a little bit, but at the same time, science is cool. This is on Ars Technica. CERN gears up to ship antimatter across Europe. They figured out how to ship antimatter. This is amazing. I'm sure something will happen as the portable containment device that's on the truck launches, and then it explodes the universe. But this is how it started. Exactly. Because they can make antimatter, but it exists so briefly and in such controlled conditions that they really couldn't do much with it. But now they found a way to make the container portable to suspend the antimatter, if you will, bring it across before it has time to degrade, and have another lab with different instruments take a look at it. Folks, it has been a pleasure knowing you all, right? Mostly this has to do with the electromagnetic field noise and removing the antimatter from those electromagnetic fields, because that's basically what limits the precision of the measurements you can take. And that's in the article here. So if you move it away from where it's being produced, you can study it without that interference, that electromagnetic interference. And they made a containment device designed to do this. It's from the article here. Has to be maintained as an extreme vacuum and needs superconducting materials to produce the electromagnetic fields that keep the antimatter from bumping into the walls of the container. All of that means a significant power supply, along with a cache of liquid helium to keep the superconductors working. A standard shipping container just won't do. So, science is cool and also possibly very deadly. So yeah, that's something to look forward to, or not, because by the time we find out something goes wrong, we're all gone anyway. So it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter because it's antimatter. It would be like the sun explodes. We wouldn't know unless we could stick around for 7 minutes after the explosion, right? We're just gone. There's no looking up and going, "What's that bright light?" No, you're just done. Sun sure seems to be closer. You don't get to say that. You don't even get to think that. If the sun blows, you're just done. There's no seeing that coming. It takes too long to get here. Yeah, we would be cooked before the signal went through our nervous system, right? So yeah, shipping antimatter. I'm like, this is really cool, but how is this not going to create a small black hole and suck us all into it? I don't know. But hey, science. All right, let's bring us up a little bit from being instantly incinerated or vaporizing at a moment's notice, and talk a little bit about Obsidian. They announced the thing I've been waiting for essentially, that will allow me to make my Notion templates in Obsidian possible. They're calling it bases for databases. It is now in their beta builds, and so they say they're going to be taking their time with it. So it might be a couple months before it reaches the regular release. But this is very cool and exactly what I was hoping it would be. They do have a whole syntax. So if you don't want to build it, if you just want to code it in, you can make a bases block, put in, and it allows you to take things you put into the properties, or sometimes called referred to as front matter or YAML, and have those be fields in a table. And that's a lot of what my Notion template kind of functions around on, because Notion databases just sort of do this automatically. And I've been wanting to convert more things over to to Obsidian. And once this releases, I can do this. And this is a very powerful feature. You can set up different rules for it. So you can say, okay, I want this column to show me the date, but only the first 10. I don't want to see all of them. I only want to see the first 10 entries, of sort. So it'll give you the first entries assorted by however you chose to sort by, whether you wanted descending, ascending. However, and that's me. And you can even type in a property, and that'll get added to the note as well. So this is incredible, and kind of everything I was hoping for. So yeah. So when it comes to the stable release, I'll be working on that. And then I will make that Obsidian Vault available to everyone in a folder on that Google Drive I shared earlier. And so if you want to run your production in Obsidian with just using some Markdown stuff, you can. And speaking of Markdown, I also released, I'll put that back up. So earlier today, I put my actions, conditions, and weapon mastery and tools reference cards into Markdown. So if you check out this Blue Sky post, there will be 2 links in that. One will be the direct link to the Markdown version of my action, conditions, weapon mastery, and tools reference cards. These are for D&D 2024. And it also has a link to where all the free TTRPG resources will live. So you have a main folder, and then you have the specific folder of the Markdown. And just to show this off, here we go. So yeah, you have, so in the folder you'll have different Markdown files. You'll have the actions, the artisan tools, the conditions, the other tools one. I have a README, the weapon mastery. The welcome is just a standard thing. I should probably delete this. We see it in all when you make a new vault. Why didn't that delete? Delete. Yes. Make that go away. Okay. And what I like about it is that is very searchable. So if you didn't know, in Obsidian, you can hit Control F, get a Finder window, and well, what's the ready action do? Ready. Oh, look. Ready. Prepared to take an action in response to a trigger you define. Right? Like, here's the types of actions you can do in D&D. And so I Very minimal coding on these, just the 2 hash marks to make the title a little bigger, then a space, and then what it does, couple spaces, couple more hash marks, just to make it easier to read. I include these spaces. Hopefully, and it's the same information that's in the PNG version, just sorted a little differently and searchable, very easily searched. You can even open these in Notepad on Windows, and they're .md files, but you can right click and say open with Notepad, and you'll see this stuff, but it's all there. And yeah, because Markdown is designed to be a syntax and also be readable by people. So you don't have a bunch of confusing code around it you may not understand. You just have some symbols that do a certain thing, and you can easily read around those. So artisan tools, you have this. So in artisan tools, like the ability thing, we have 2 stars just to make these bold. But otherwise, you see all this. And if you didn't know, in 5th edition 2024, they have artisan tools, and then other tools include your disguise kit, your forgery kit. So I just kept them separate as well. Again, here's your conditions. Search field up. So I want invisible. There it is. And I left the links in that are contained in the free rules. So if you do want to, you can either go copy and paste these into D&D Beyond, or just click and it'll open these definitions in D&D Beyond out of the free rules. If you're wondering what these look like in a text file, let me bring up Notepad. Or let me open one of these in Notepad as soon as I can get... What's going on here, Windows? What are you doing? Come on, buddy. Do something. Click. Okay, thank you. My clickings weren't clicking. All right, so conditions. Open with Notepad. Bigging this a little bit. All right, so here's the same thing. These conditions right here in Notepad. As you can see, there's the hash marks indicating blinded. There's those indicating bold, but you can easily read around these, like blinded, can't see, and it's all still searchable text. Here's make a D20 test. Here's what that looks like. They bracket the D20 test, so that's what you see, and then here's the link. So if you wanted to, you could just copy and paste out of here. So even if you don't have something that can read Markdown, you still can navigate this document and have it be incredibly searchable. And that's why I like a lot about Markdown. Like, if more TTRPG companies put out a PDF and a Markdown version, that'd be fantastic. I'd love that. I would pay more for a Markdown and PDF. Yeah, so let's take a break. And did I have anything else here? Yeah, that does it. The other thing is a TTRPG thing, so we'll talk about that after the break. Be back in about 5 minutes. Again, if you have any questions, Put them in chat. And we'll get to it. All right. See you in 5 minutes. I'm going to run some ads. You know what, butterflies? I can go twice as high. So suck it.
Do not like Tyrion. So yep, that is another fail.
You take 3 points of burning custard damage.
Little did you know that Tyrion actually has resistance to burning custard damage. Specifically that, because of, yes.
So I just see him get sucked in a window on the top floor and disappear.
Yep.
I wouldn't be the first. Never mind. How much damage was that?
3
6,
points.
you said? 3? Thank
I'm still a little wary. I'm just keep watching DC's like window.
Right. Also, thank you as a board member of Take This and a stream ambassador. So
this is the 5th baking themed one shots, part of the baking anthology. It will be the last charity one shot on DC Lasair's channel, although he may be available for other things. In case you do not know, DC is a producer, streamer, moderator, and the superior oh my god.
Ask and ye shall receive.
The Hatamancy has been engaged.
So please follow DC on Twitter and check out the links and check out his Patreon and Ko-Fi if you would like to. If you would like this for consulting, if you would for whatever reason like this for consulting,
production classes are A++.
I guess
this is everything I wanted.
Yeah. So yeah,
I'm so happy.
You asked that earlier, and we had no clue this was happening.
Boston creams and Long Johns and curly Qs all come out, and they all like empty their contents on launched at all of you. Everyone needs to make a dexterity saving throw.
There's a theme here right now.
I honestly, I'm like, we are. It is after dark here, so okay.
Yep.
17 plus a lot. So that's 17 plus 6 is what? 13, 23.
Question is, would I actually want to dodge a Long John?
I'm gonna.
I mean,
I'm gonna use an advantage.
I don't know. I don't know what I can do that would be. That's gonna top the meat wizard. Those were words I said. Don't clip that. Anyway. So, how about that tech? Rods we bestow upon our new fish are priceless objects. They don't cost anything. Since you know what you're doing, you'll probably want a proper one. But in the meantime, let's see if you can figure out how to hold your pole. Ready, the one I gave you, and your lessons can begin. I held my pole and I completed a quest. Ready in your. All right. Well, y'all, I could have died there, but Pentagram saved me, so thank you.
You hear that, chat? He said thank you. I think you need to bring more chaos.
Where did they say it's definitely not coming out for the Xbox? They just didn't make an announcement about the Xbox yet, right? Like, so there's a news article covering, hey, it's going to be on the Xbox. It's just taking them a little longer for whatever developer reasons, because games are hard to make. Whatever style of game you're making, whether it be a TTRPG, a video game, it takes time, a lot of energy, a lot of effort, and it's not an easy task. It may be a rewarding task, it may even be a fun task, but it takes a long time. And I'm sure the last thing they want as a title as big as Baldur's Gate 3 is to deliver a less than stellar experience on a platform. And with that, his size grows to 10 feet. His skin becomes a flaky crust. Skeletal wings of butter spread out from his back. And a rolling pin of necrotic energy forms in his hand.
Choices were made, and we respect them.
Wow.
The pie missiles go from 2 to 4. There's 2 below his arms, 2 above.
Tyrion just turns to Punk and says, "I did warn you."
Question.
It's good.
Take my new service. Normally there's ice cream. This is you scream. Because it's your icy doom. Icy doom! That's all you get is icy doom. Icy doom. Look at that. Icy doom. Icy doom. Icy doom. We're gonna do the thing first. There's an easy way to end this, but I'm not doing that. We're suplexing the train. Yeah! Oh, don't be a stick in the mud. Let's just have some fun. Hey, do you like these? I call this one... Game. Game. I just have no words. All right, welcome back, everybody. Hope you all had a good break. Got a chance to stand up, stretch, relax. All right, so another thing I wanted to mention, and this goes to TTRPG stuff, is Daggerheart was released this week. I got the digital tools off of Demiplane, so I'm looking forward to digging into that. And if you want to know about Daggerheart, I highly recommend going to Zero's Twitch channel and looking up the review he did a day or two ago. Let's see if I can that up because it was excellent. Get you that link here. So yeah, there's Zero's Twitch page, and just go to his videos and find the one from 2 days ago. It's titled Daggerheart is Out and dives into it. So I highly recommend that if you want to know more about Daggerheart. Zero did a great job. And I'll be looking at the tools for it on Demiplane this weekend. There are some things about Daggerheart I'm not thrilled with, but it does seem to be an interesting system. I personally will probably talk more about Draw Steel once that comes out, because that held my interest more. But Daggerheart does look to be a pretty solid game. Even saying that, like my complaints are relatively minor and looks pretty fun. Can do some neat builds. One reason I got it on Demiplane is because there's a lot to track. There's a lot of different trackers. There's cards. and things like that. And having talked about making a minimalist DM toolkit, just a few weeks ago, and taking as few things as possible, Daggerheart is like adding to that. So that's not necessarily a game I want to try to figure out a convention, but running it at home, or if I had the digital tools to do it and did it online, that might be the way to go for me. I'd just rather not have a lot of extra stuff. I'm running the game, and there's a hope and fear mechanic, which is neat, but also more to keep track of. And for me, stuff like that can take away player agency a little, but it may not have that big of an effect on what a player does with their character. It's still important, but hopefully it doesn't, like, oh, I have this much hope now. Well, clearly I need to play this character like this because my hope's at this, or my what, I can't remember why I said the other one. What fear? My fear is this. So clearly I need to play it just because I have that marked on my sheet. And I'm not into those kind of roles for games. But you can also treat hope and fear as resources for powers, or the GM can use them for things too. So it is kind of a nice system. I'm liking it, but those are kind of my bigger problems with it, and then those might not be huge to you, but it's definitely worth checking out. There's a lot to like. There's quite a few things in here that Zero mentioned. I'm like, oh, I could take that and do something similar in other systems, like Werewolf or D&D even, or any system. And there's some GM stuff in there that I'm like, oh yeah, no, that's a good idea for any game you run. So I'm gonna be reading over their GM section more. Because that I found kind of inspiring, and like gave me ideas to do other things. So, again, I'm all about the kit bashing of going, that's a good idea here. Yeah, we can apply it here too. Have it be amazing. Okay, I'm gonna plug myself here just a minute before we get into total relax mode. Gen Con, if you're going there's my event. Sign up for it. It'll be great. I now have a game up on Start Playing. I'll be adding more 2 more games over this weekend. And let me get the link for that. Listings, there we go. You gotta open up my dashboard, gotta find the thing. So yeah, check that out if you'd like, and I'll have more games up as the weekend goes forward. I can only put games up by weekday, and I can mark what time they start. So I want to run a game on Fridays, but I don't want it to run on this Friday. I don't want to run it today. I want it to run next Friday. So I have to set up for Friday next bi-weekly after today passes, so it will pop up on the correct Friday. Same thing with Sunday. I want to do a game on Sunday, so I'll wait till Monday and then post that, because I can't seem to put in a particular date. But yeah, I'm very excited. So I hope get signups for these. That'd be fantastic. And let's see. Plug in, do the plug for the markdown again. Link. So if you're looking for the markdown for the stuff I just made, it's in this Google Drive folder. That's the direct link. That'll take you right to the markdown files. And there's a text file in there explaining all the things. So read the README first. That's why READMEs exist. I know, weird, right? Okay, what else we got today? All right, I think that was all the stuff I really wanted to, big stuff I wanted to cover. Looking forward to doing more with Obsidian, and I want to see more things in Markdown, because that makes life searching through things a lot easier. All right, let's bring up the music and turn it down a bit. All right, and oh yeah, once again, St. Jude, part of Team Cypher. We're doing this charity drive. Click on my link, go to it. So, this is the time where we sit back, we relax, let your hair down. It's the weekend. It's Friday, right? Take a deep breath, and we'll talk about whatever tech thing you want to talk about. If you want to talk more about the Elgato stuff, or Obsidian, or Markdown, or TTRPGs, maybe you've already played, or read Daggerheart, put it in chat. We'll talk about it, no matter what I'm on at the time. Well, I don't mind going down various rabbit holes and jumping around places. First up, we're gonna look at see if there's any tech news that have dropped while we've been talking that's of interest. Let's see here. Yeah, feel free to drop whatever you want in chat. I am just looking for stuff to talk about at this point. Kind of get in your meditative state, relax, say silly things, you know, whatever's on your mind. Ooh. Oh. Okay, I can't do contact lenses. Just because things weird me out too badly. But infrared contact lenses let you see in the dark. Mice and humans were able to detect infrared light even with their eyes closed with limited resolution. Yeah. So they're not like night vision goggles where you need some sort of power source. And to see through them. They're just contact lenses. And let's see here. The article says it's creating a near infrared nano antenna. But most people would be averse to the prospect of sticking needles in their eyes. Yes, so they look for a better alternative. Contact lenses. So yeah, they just used nanoparticles and were like, science! And made these. So you know, if you're looking forward to a future where you have supervision, maybe put this article somewhere for later research. Then the X-ray glasses will really work without having to send away for them in your comic books. Let's get to some different songs here in the playlist. There we go. All right, I really don't have any plans this weekend. I believe there's a flea market that's a little ways away on Monday. I think it's the first one of the year for that. Might go to that. I think that it'll be the first time for it. It always happens on a holiday, so like after July 4th weekend or whatever, and you just go to this park that's set up. A bunch of people have tables, and you know it's fun to walk around and look at the stuff. Especially because some of the things I collect are on. Someone has tables with some of those things on sometimes, so. All right. Oh yeah, there's a lot of Memorial Day sales going on, so if any of those are of interest to you, do that. Okay, not finding much there. Here, Daggerheart was kind of the big ETRPG news of the week. So you'll find lots of reviews about Daggerheart. Oh, there was an announcement earlier today by World of Darkness folks. They're bringing back the White Wolf brand. And I'm not exactly sure what that means, other than World of Darkness stuff will be labeled White Wolf again, probably. Which, I don't know, it just seems to add more confusion, maybe. Maybe they're hoping to take away that confusion because, you know, it was like, this publisher is publishing Vampire now. Oh no, it's over here, right? And so by reviving the White Wolf brand, you know, if people are still going, oh yeah, White Wolf, they're the ones that do these. So I hope that works out. They are one of the upcoming video games. I think it's Bloodlines 2 will have the White Wolf logo on it. Nothing catching my eye. Oh, so you may have heard about the WizKids Baldur's Gate 3 character box set, the paint jobs that went poorly. They have announced a refund for anyone who purchased the D&D Icons of the Realms Baldur's Gate 3 character box set. And if you want to see the difference between the pictures promised and what people got, Ian World has an article for you. There's side-by-side comparisons of here's what it's supposed to look like, and it looks great, and then what the person got, and yeah, two completely different things. and one of them is terrible. Oh, that's so bad, right? It's awful. Like, I mean, I have some WizKids minis, and that, you know, pre-painted ones. I'm like, oh, these are cool, but I wasn't expecting it to be that bad. Yeah, right. I don't think anyone was. It's just like, what happened? Still have no idea, but WizKids did issue an apology, and you can go to your store. I'm sure if you have a receipt and can say, hey, I want a refund. So yeah, it's awful. Yeah, I'm just looking at these all like, whoa. These are clearly two different products. These can't be the same thing. It looks like someone took a lighter up to them and kind of burned most of them, you know, and melted the plastic a bit in places. I so bizarre. And there's always the question of you had the box, right? You was there quality control? Do you do that? What's happening? And we'll probably never know why that occurred. Just that we're correcting the problem, so yay. Oh, I did get some good news on a Kickstarter, which is an odd thing to say sometimes. That they have them actually have them in country, and we'll be piecing together the orders over the next several weeks and shipping them out. And so I backed the, I don't know if you remember this particular Kickstarter. I can't remember the exact name of the product, but they were dice spinners that were like kind of credit card size thing, and you hit the top and wheels rotated and they had gears, and I'm like, these are kind of cool. But yeah, they sent an update saying, hey, look, here's pictures of our stock. Here's when we plan to get these in. Here's our, you know, how many we think we can do. And here's when these will get shipped out. And so hopefully I'll have mine either right before Gen Con or just after Gen Con. So that was good to see. It's always good to see progress. Especially when Kickstarters are involved. And it's like, yeah, I'm taking a risk. I think I know that now. But I hope everyone has some weekend plans. Like I said, the flea market might be the only thing. Otherwise, I don't really have anything. I might work on my little more on my paid games as I get those set up too. It might be, but it also might just be a weekend to watch riff tracks. Because some things in the outside world are awful, and I'd rather not think about them, but they're there anyway to think about, and that just saddens me. So I may just go, yeah, no, this is too much to deal with. Oh, here's a post from the World of Darkness people about White Wolf. The White Wolf brand coming back. There's still a lot of questions around it, but yeah, there's their Blue Sky post. It will be the official licensing and publishing entity of World of Darkness. And oh, here we go. White Wolf working alongside Paradox Interactive as a co-publisher for Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 tabletop role-playing game development moving in-house. So that's what's happening there. But yeah, so this includes vampire, werewolf, and hunter. And, you know, they brought the brand back. Is this going to be a good thing? Hopefully. Hopefully it means good things for them. And, you know, the whole World of Darkness thing. I'm a fan of werewolf. I always liked werewolf. Though werewolf does have some of its own problems. Werewolf and hunter, and I think I played vampire for so long that I just kind of fell out of it. So I'm not so much excited about vampire these days, but that's definitely just a personal thing. Werewolf and hunter are a little more interesting to me right now. I'm not talking about the quality of the game at all or anything like that. Just I played a lot of vampire. I did a lot of LARPing, and I'm still, and even though that was years ago, I'm still kind of like, yeah, I don't want to get into this again. It was a lot, and a lot of that has to do with kind of the people around it as well and things like that. You know, completely out of the control of the brand or anything. All right, let's see, what time do we got? Oh, we got about 15 minutes. So yeah, oh, jet pens. Jet pens. Put up a new video. Get the link from my Discord here. The video title is Why You Need These Over-Engineered Japanese Mechanical Pencils and Pens. And it's like, but I don't. But the video clearly says I need them. It's in caps. So check that out. There's some cool things there that I shouldn't spend money on. But yeah, I'm like, oh, these are kind of neat. You know, rotating leads and mechanical pencils and different grips, things like that. Yeah. A few different highlighters as well. Not want, but need, so it must be important, right? Yeah, I clicked on the link, so it brought up the YouTube, and this is just a weird side note, but you know how you're looking at a YouTube video and then you have the side view of all the other videos that you can look at? And a lot of times in these side views, I have my own videos popping up, and that's just kind of weird to me, but... Yeah, so the pen that writes like a dream, you know, they have such enticing titles. Most satisfying writing experience. Understated pencil with hidden features. Super stable auto-rotating lead. I mean, what's not to like? I gotta admit that the highlighters they mentioned look pretty cool, though. There's these. And these. you know, part of the need category. JetPens does such a good job on their videos. They're great. Oh, if you do want to see, we talked about Obsidian and bases. If you do want to see that in action, there are videos on YouTube. Some people have subscribed to the beta builds, and so if you want to see the early look at it, yeah, just go to YouTube, type in Obsidian bases, and you'll get quite a few videos. In case you're wondering what I'm talking about, and yeah, I just don't want to get into another beta thing. I'm happy waiting and, you know, them making refinements to it and getting this stable version, because the idea is I make something with it and then everybody can use it. But if it's the beta version only, then not everyone can use it. So I'm just waiting. If it was a personal thing, I probably would do it, but I mean it to give something to all of you. So yeah, waiting for the stable release on that one. So yeah, if you want to see what it does, just go to YouTube. Obsidian bases. And I think I mentioned this yesterday. Maybe it was the day before, but I am looking at doing a video on just Markdown and then Obsidian plus Markdown. Not sure if that's going to be 2 shorter videos or just 1 longer video. But I might do it next week as part of Tech Friday. I think I'll just make a separate video to put on YouTube. As well. One rabbit hole I'm looking down, talking about various things, because there's a lot of rabbit holes I go down lately. Looking into hex maps and creating those, and you know what's contained in a hex and travel times and things like that. So I'm still kind of assembling thoughts and ideas around that, and just reading various articles and looking at videos and people explaining, well, here's what we do, and like, okay, I don't even know if I'm going to use hex maps. It's just something that hits me as interesting right now. More research required. Lots of Daggerheart reviews, so there's no shortage of Daggerheart reviews. If you want an opinion on Daggerheart, there's plenty out there. Yeah, we got a few minutes left. So yeah, if you got any questions or you want to talk about what you're doing this weekend or anything like that, yeah, now's the time. But chat. If you have questions or thoughts that we didn't get to, feel free to share. Part of my weekend plan might be working on that that markdown video, just because I'm doing a lot with Obsidian and I'm releasing tools that involve markdown, and so I should probably have some more explainy bits going, okay, here's why this works really well for this, and other things like that. So like I said, TTRPG publishers, third-party publishers, put out your fancy PDFs, but also I will give you more monies if you also made a markdown version, because they make life a lot easier when you're putting together the adventure and running it for people. Like, I don't just want you to put in a markdown version, you know, without getting something back for the time you put into it. But yeah, give me markdown versions. Please. Thank you. And I have a friend who I was kind of using Obsidian, then he started using Obsidian for his games. And he has poor vision, and files in Markdown help because he can, you know, really blow up the text. He can separate it out how he needs to in his games and organize the information how he needs to. And because he has to kind of get even up close to his monitor to be able to see the words, and so having something like Markdown is a quite a boon for him. And he's taking you know, various PDFs and putting sections of, you know, extracting text and putting them into Obsidian, so he has them in some sort of Markdown format. They're just easier for him to read. Yeah. All right, let's close down stuff I don't need to be looking at. We wind up stream today. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate that. Let's see if we can bring a raid over to somebody. There's somebody on the list that we would normally raid to. Somebody on the list that could use a little boost of viewers. Yeah. All right, let's see who to raid. Yeah, it looks like Fun Games is person on that I know that would be a good raid target. All right. So we'll go say hi to Fawn and Games. Thank you all for being here. Hope you all have a good weekend. And hopefully, you know, you're able to wind down a bit, because the world is a lot right now, and especially here in the US. And, you know, if I could just provide a momentary distraction from that, yay. I really appreciate everybody taking the time to be here and listening to me talk about tech, and you sharing your thoughts too. It's all really valuable. And yeah, so stay tuned for the raid. We're gonna go say hi to Fawn, because they are amazing. If I can type, that would be even better. Let's see here. Fawn and Games. There we go. I can type. Ha ha! Typing. So I'm gonna go have some dinner and probably watch some bad movies. So I will see you all on... No, I will probably be off Monday because it's the holiday. watch my socials. I'm not sure if I want to be on. I'll at least be back Tuesday with more Expedition 33. That's why I'm playing. My brain's tired. It needs a nap. Naps are good, y'all. Take naps. So yeah, have a great weekend. I will see you all on Monday or Tuesday, one of those. Follow me on Blue Sky for neat things. Go to my website, dclasair.com, for all the things. And if you do have any questions, let me know. You know, send me a message. You can email me through my website. Yeah, all sorts of things you can do. All right, I'll talk to you all later. Stay tuned for the raid. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. And I will see you all next week. Bye.